Hello, my name is Rene. Namaste. Thank you for joining me today for a little deep stretch class online with the Mat Yoga Studio. For this class today, if you have available to you a strap or a hand towel, a block or two, or something of that shape and size, a blanket or a folded towel or beach towel will work. Take a moment to pause this video and get the items you need. We're going to begin seated, facing forward. And you might want to sit on your blanket or your folded towel so we can raise the hips and lower the knees in an easy seated position. Not everybody enjoys this particular position, so there are other positions available, such as kneeling with a block between your knees to sit on, or if you have a pillow nearby, a small hand pillow from your couch. This might be more comfortable to you, or maybe one knee bent, one leg straight. Just make yourself comfortable. And at any time, you can pause the video to get what you need and then come back. Hands are on the knees, closing the eyes. Let's just take a moment to breathe. In through the nose and out through the mouth. We're going to make some sighing breath sounds. Focusing on breathing is very important to begin your practice. Settling your mind, connecting your body, and placing intentions. So just continue with your eyes closed to breathe in through the nose, deeply, slowly, pausing, and then letting your breath out deeply, slowly, making a circle with your mouth. And do that a few times. Start to notice your perception of how you feel. Your body begins to soften. Your mind relaxes a little bit and starts to draw inward. One of our practices in yoga is to connect the breath through breath work, pranayama, and draw the mind inward, away from the outer distractions. On your next inhale breath, drop your chin towards your chest, as if you were holding an orange beneath your chin and your chest. Relax your shoulders down. You might need to roll them up and back and down a few times to find a little space. Breathe in and out while your chin is tucked. And bring your right ear to your right shoulder. Tip your head to the side. Bring your chin back towards your chest and take your head to the other side. Towards your left shoulder. Relax the shoulders. Tip the head to the side and breathe into the neck. And then back down again. So you'll just go from side to side and start to work the side muscles in your neck. Breathing and moving. You can keep your eyes closed. And if the neck feels able, take a full circle around. Do that a couple of times in each direction. If you have a point in your neck where you feel a little tightness or some pain, you might just continue with the half circles instead. You can always modify. Be sure you're rotating in each direction. Coming back into neutral, let's switch our legs. Hands back, feet out to the sides, knees go left and right. Offset your feet a little bit so you can drop your knees to the center. And then you'll cross your other ankle in front, left, right, right, left. Take a breath in and out. Side stretch. Place your right hand on the mat, bring your left arm up and over, and bend into your right elbow. Trying to keep the torso stacked facing forward. You can look under your arm towards the ceiling, towards the video, or down towards the ground. Relax your neck. Inhale your arms, outward stretching to the sides, and then exhale, left hand down, right arm up, and bend that hand beneath you. Side opening, gazing up towards the video, or down and relax your head. Inhale the arms out to the sides. We're going to add a twist. Now I'll be your mirror. Place your left hand on your right knee. The right hand goes behind and you turn and look over the shoulder and breathe in and out. Inhale the arms out side to side, wide stretch. Exhale, twist to the other side. Breathe in and out while you're turning the head too. Release the arms out to the sides. Place your hands flat behind you, fingers forward or outward rotation. Open chest stretch. Look up, breathe in, open your collarbones, press into your hands, and release your gaze towards the video. The feet out to the sides, windshield, wipers, knees, side to side. So we'll begin to stretch your legs a little more. So if you want to continue sitting on your blanket, that's great. We're going to extend your left leg out and keep your right knee bent in a half butterfly, half wide leg stretch. If you're very tight today in your legs, you're going to want to use your strap or a folded hand towel to go over this foot. Take an inhale with your arms up, and then reach your left arm over with the strap or your towel, and take your right arm with you. So you're using the arm beneath to hold the foot or pull the strap. You're reaching through this arm overhead. And you're pushing back into this right hip as you reach through the right arm. Gaze points up towards the video or down and let the head relax. Breathe in and out a few times. Your inhales are opening some space, and the exhales will capture that space, and you'll sort of sink into it with each breath. Release. Coming back up to seated, we're going to switch the legs. So you'll bring your left foot in and extend your right leg out. Inhale the arms up. Straighten the spine, reach over with your right hand, strap over the foot, or grab the foot with your hand. The left arm is going to continue overhead and stretch. Pull yourself inward. Maybe the arm is down, so you can use that for opening the side stretch. As you reach through the left hand overhead, you're pushing into this oppositional left hip. Your gaze point could be up towards the video or down and the head relaxed. And take a few breaths here. Finding space and then capturing that space with your breath. On an inhale, you'll rise back up to the seated, and we're going to try to extend both legs out to the sides. So if you find that your heels are resting on a hard floor, you can scoot back a little so there's some padding beneath the heels. First of all, you'll want to take an inhale breath and place your hands behind you and try to open those legs just a half inch, quarter inch, breadth of an inch. Lift your chin and chest. See how this feels. Trying to keep the big toes up so that we're rotating outward in the hips. Rotating away Take your hands and place them forward flat onto the mat in front of you. And then bring your chin up. So you're going to take a breath and you're going to gradually walk the hands out with each breath. Looking up each time. As your arms get further forward, you might be able to bend an elbow and put it down. You might need a block for your elbow. You'll want to get as far forward as you can. Be mindful that you're tilting in the pelvis and not rolling into that stretch. So we're able to achieve that inner groin stretch feeling. And then you might want to place your hands in prayer. Place your forehead on your thumbs. So you're going to be in various positions depending on your body. Every day is a different day. You could be upright. You could be on an elbow or two on a block. You could be all the way down. And you might be one of those people that's able to lay all the way forward in this stretch. So enjoy this for a couple of breaths. There's going to be some tightness in different areas in your legs and your body. And this is where the breath work comes in. So you'll close the eyes to go inward. And take a couple of deep breaths. One of my favorite cues in my class that I teach at the mat is to swallow. For some reason, I feel like this relaxes tension in my jaw and throat. I'm able to unclench the teeth, the tongue, and it sort of gives me that soothing feeling, not only in my mouth and throat and jaw area, but in my mind. It relaxes me. So try it with me. Swallow and breathe. Take a few more breaths. You know that you're doing this practice at home on your own. You can always pull in and out. You can lift up if you're feeling extra tight. And you release and come all the way back up and be seated. Oh, bring those legs together in the front. Shake them out. Move that fluid around. Place your hands behind you, fingers pointing forward or outward turning, and then press into your hands and lift your heart and look up. Stretch a little oppositionally. Looking up, opening the heart, pressing into the heels of the hands so that we spread those collarbones wide. And then exhale, release. A lot of our lives are spent over computers, over devices, so these kinds of opening stretches are good, especially once I've had you folded forward for a little while. Now let's go to hands and knees. Hands and knees for kneeling stretches. If your knees need padding, you will be moving your blanket or your folded towel to your knee area. And you're going to maybe move your blocks in the front for the kneeling lunge stretches. Hands and knees in the box shape. Aware of the shoulder and wrist alignment, the knee and hip alignment. Take a breath here in this neutral box tabletop shape. And then exhale, tuck your belly and push your hips forward as you round the head down. And then inhale, bring your chin up. The tailbone goes up and the rib cage drops down. And you're just going to move on an exhale into that concave position, rounded back. And then inhale, arched back, opening position. And then back and forth with your own breath cycle. Inhaling and exhaling. With a cat-cow. And then back into a neutral spine. We'll go all the way up onto double knees. Setting the blocks up for forward kneeling lunge. First, let's make fists with both hands. Place them into your lower back. Pull your elbows back behind you. Push your hips forward and lean into that stretch. So you're opening again the chest, the heart, front of the body, hip flexors. Breathe in, stretch. Pull the shoulders back, elbows back. And then release back into standing, kneeling, neutral. We're going to put your left foot in the center. And you're going to be on your right knee. Walk the blocks forward as you walk the foot forward. So the blocks are going to stay in alignment with this front ankle. And this front ankle is going to be in alignment with the knee. You can dip into that hip flexor and then bring your chin up. So we're breathing now into that right hip flexor of yours. Breathing focusing on the tight areas that you might feel. Maybe trying my swallow technique, relax the throat and the jaw. One more breath cycle, in and out. And then you're going to release back onto the knee. And we're going to flex the front foot first. Just keep the blocks right where they're at. See if you can draw your big toe pointing upward. Use your blocks for balance and support. And bow down over that front leg to activate the hamstring stretch on your left leg. Breathe in and out. You can hold here for another breath. If you want to take it down a little bit further, you might move one of these blocks back to sit on. So you'll put your left hip down on the block and then take an inhale and then forward over further, fold, reaching towards that leg in front. Remember to keep your tools handy. You could even use your strap here or your towel to go over your foot if you have that hand towel handy. If you're extra short in the legs, like me, or extra flexible, you might add a little block over the front edge. If you have that second block or tool that you might be using today on the video with me. Stretch in and out, breathe in and out. And then release back up into seated. And we're going to go back to hands and knees, kneeling, and move your hips side to side. So we'll move that around. That area we stretched feels looser now than the other side. You'll notice a little difference in those sides. And then we're going to come back up onto the kneeling. Get your blocks ready. Fists into the back. Elbows back. Chest open. Look up. And breathe into that body stretch. Feel your heart opening. Try to feel a little release in some of that anxiety and tension that you may be holding on in that area. And then back up to a kneeling position. Hands are going to go on the blocks. Now we'll put our right foot in between the blocks. And again, we're going to walk the blocks forward so that it aligns with our foot. And our leg is going to, the knee and ankle will be aligned here on that front leg. So now we're stretching into this left hip flexor. And if you want to bring the chin up, it sort of increases the stretch a little bit, and you might look at something above you and focus on that while you breathe. In yoga, we use this point of gaze, or drishti, not just for balance, but also for mindfulness, for focus and concentration. Trying to keep our awareness here on the mat, here with our bodies, and not spiraling outward into other thoughts. And if we're able to achieve this for a moment, we might feel a little bit of freedom and clarity. And then we might be able to use this tool off of our mat as well for other things that come up in our lives that are stressful. And you're going to come back up onto that knee to release that stretch. We're going to just flex the front foot so the big toe points up. Use your blocks for support and lean into that right hamstring. Breathe in and out. Try not to get too tense. If you find yourself tight in the neck or shoulders, try to alleviate that. Just being aware, perception of things happening in the body. It's a great part of our yoga practice. If you'll notice when you breathe deeply into those tight areas of your muscles, you'll find that they do expand with breath and contract. And if you wanted to stay here for another breath, you could, or you might set the block back on that one hip so that you can balance and lengthen forward over the leg a little more. You might use your strap or your towel over that foot to get a better stretch. If you can't reach short-legged people or flexible people, maybe adding a little more. And everybody's a little different in their flexibility. One leg's different than the other. One day is different than the other. If you've been practicing yoga for 15 years or 5 years, there's going to be a difference in that flexibility. And that changes as we age. Part of our practice is to learn the acceptance of our own bodies and love ourselves the way we are. And then we're going to release after a few breaths in that stretch. Let's go back to the hands and knees box shape. Kneeling, tabletop pose, and move your hips side to side. sometimes when I'm here, I'll like to just kind of linger on one side and move around a little bit. Maybe the other side, move around a little bit. Maybe a half circle going from side to side. And then if my kneecaps are okay with it, I might go all the way forward onto my hands and start this full circling motion with my hips. Going around to the back, as far to the side, as far forward as my hips will let me. A few rotations in each direction feel really good. If this movement doesn't feel good, it feels foreign to you, or you're not able to achieve it like you'd like, just stay on your hands and knees and do that cat-cow position that we did earlier. And know that, there's always something you can do if you're in class online or in person to modify and change your practice so that it works for you. And then we're going to come back to seated position. So you'll want to have your blanket still underneath you for the butterfly, Baddha Konasana, cobbler's pose. And there are a few variations in this pose. You might have your ankles further out for a big, wide diamond shape in the legs. You might have them about halfway in for a more closed triangle diamond shape, or maybe all the way in for this super deep one. So everybody's a little different. If you're one of those people that might be tight in the hips today, you can put a block under each knee. It's a great modification to alleviate some of that tightness there. So I'll have you do a few stretches here and hold for just a moment. So always know modifications are great. Do a few of these cat-cows to round the spine and lengthen the spine. Get a feel for that. And when you feel your spine is nice and straight, take an inhale breath to lengthen and look up. And then exhale forward, tucking the chin. So as you're leaning forward, you want to be aware of that low back, that it's not rounding in the pelvic area, that you're tilting the pelvic area forward and opening the groin. Keep the shoulders back and down, collarbones away. It might just be a half lean, it might be a quarter lean. You might be going further forward in that stretch. You might be pulling your toes, ankles or shins. Or you might be reaching your arms outward in front of you and dropping your head down. Close your eyes and take your breath and your mind and your thoughts inward again. And just take a moment here. Know when we're holding these deep stretch poses, you can pull in and out. You can add space into those legs, or you can take a tighter spot. Everybody's practice is their own, and so you're the driver. I'm the guide. I'm the tour guide. You know this road of your own body. You know this roadmap better than I do. I'm just pointing out some things along the way that might be interesting for you to try and to look at. Think about it like that. And then inhale back up all the way into your seated position. And let's move our feet out to the sides with bent knees. A little windshield wiper motion here. And so for the last little bit of our session together, I'd like to take you all the way onto your reclining back. So you may want this blanket at the other end for your head. You may want your blocks nearby if you feel like you might need them. And definitely keep the strap, because we're going to do some leg stretches with the strap on your back. So at your leisure, remember anytime you can pause the video, set yourself up, get your props ready. Before we begin, let's just see how our back feels and our body feels. Place your hands, one on the belly, one on the heart, with the knees bent, and just breathe for a minute. Start to connect. It's always good to pause a moment every now and then when you're practicing and reconnect. And then we're going to take a moment to move those feet off to the sides and move the knees side to side in a windshield wiper motion. And then we'll bring those legs back together. We're going to take the strap over our left foot first. So So I will be your mirror. Extend your left leg towards the ceiling and extend your right leg towards the ground beneath you, just straight down. Trying to add a little flexion into your feet to activate the stretch. If your shoulders are lifted up, allow some space on that strap. Use your strap or towel. If you're able to, grab the big toe without lifting the body, then do that. First, stretching the hamstring, focusing on this leg, moving straight towards your face. Breathe into the muscle. Back of the knee feels tight. Hamstrings, back of the leg tight. Breathe into those places too. We're going to take the strap with our left hand. Remember the block. If you're super tight, you might set it out to the side, because as you open this leg to the side, it might get really tight. Use your strap for guidance, and maybe you place the block under the leg for support. You can move it in or out. You can lower it down flatter, or you can not use it at all if you want to just let the leg hold open. Move your right hand opening to the right side, bottom leg opening to the side, and then relax this bottom here that you're holding with the strap, this leg. Let it relax and see if it'll open into that. Tipping the pinky toe downward and the heel upward for that rotation, abduction. So you're being taken away, you're rotating it out. And then inhale, bring it back up. And then we're going to switch the hands. So now your right hand takes the strap, open your left arm out, and just cross it a little bit. Don't let this hip go yet. You're going to feel the IT band from your hip to your knee to the ankle in that stretch. This is a super tight one. It might be a bit painful. You might want to have this block on the other side so that when you cross over, you can put your leg on the block and keep that left arm opening, stretching the side. If it's all too intense, you have options of staying here, going back here, or relaxing out of the stretch completely. Notice how the bottom leg rotates as well. So that bottom half of your body rotates to the right. Torso stays flat. Gaze can be up, to the left, to the right, anywhere you want. And then inhale, go back upward with that leg. And let's do something fun in between. Let's put both legs in the strap. Move those legs around a little bit. Stretch your legs. You can lift the tailbone. You could even lift your head. You wanted to pretend like you were folding in towards your legs, but you're on your back. Now we're going to keep that right leg in and let the left leg go all the way down onto the mat beneath you. Flex the foot that's beneath you. Pull that leg in above you. And think about those toes coming towards your nose. So we're focusing on the back of the knee, hamstring on that right leg. My teeth just got really tight. Swallow, relax your jaw. Oh. Maybe this one might be your tight side too. And we're going to take it outward towards your right. So take the strap with the right hand, put your left arm out. This is a little support here on the opposite side. You're going to go outward, and it might want to stop at some point. You can use your strap to hold it. You can use the block to catch the leg on that side, or you can just let that leg float. Be aware of opening on the left, rotating that pinky toe downward on that right leg. Gaze is away, up, anywhere you want it to be. We're rotating that hip on the right out, away. Breathing in that open space. There's a lot of oppositional happening here. Pushing, stretching, reaching in opposite directions. We'll take that strap upward, overhead, and then use your hand to switch, but don't go all the way. This is that iliotibial band, that IT band, very tight from the ankle to the knee to the hip. Maybe you stay there. It's delicious, right? It's lovely. It's delightful. Or maybe we'll go all the way. Maybe that block is there. And remember, there's a few settings. You could be high, you could be medium, or you could be low. Depends on, where your body wants to rotate to. Try to keep it at about hip level. The leg beneath me also rotated with my body. So the bottom part of my body rotated to the left. Upper body is flat, so I'm getting the twist in the middle. And you can look in any direction you want while you breathe. Focus on that stretch. Take another breath. And then inhale, bring it back upright. And let's finish with both feet in that strap up overhead. Pull the legs. Try it with the back flat, the tailbone down. And then try it with the tailbone lifted. Maybe try it with the head lifted too. Those are all options. Remember, I'm just giving you the little tour guide. Those are some places you might want to try and look. And then release. Bring your knees into your chest and give your knees a rotation in each way. Back massage. And then you're going to place your feet down with the knees bent off to the sides and move your knees left and right so we can get those hips and knees moving around. Keep your arms offset to the sides. Make your knees go to the right. See how that feels. Maybe you'll take that right heel and put it on top of that left bent leg and see how that feels. It's going to pull on this hip flexor. It might be like a no-no. You're going to know right away when your body tells you no. If it tells you no, you listen. If it says, okay, I can handle that, then you're like, okay, let's go there. Let's explore that. And then maybe move that leg if you put it there and do that windshield wiper motion side to side. Now your knees are going to drop off to the left side. Maybe it's just good like it is. Maybe you decide to add the left heel to that right knee and see what happens if you relax things down in that deep stretch. If the hip rejects it, your body says, ooh, that's painful. Pain is not where we want to be. We want to be in that comfortably stretched position where it's doable and not painful. If you did put that leg there, undo it, and then windshield wiper your leg side to side. And then do it again, both knees to your right side. You can stay like this for the double knee twist, or you can stack the knees on top of each other so that the hips rotate more in a deeper twist. So it might depend on your back at this point. This might be your twist, or double knees stacked might be your twist. Keep your arms out to the sides. Breathe in that twist. And then inhale, bring your knees back into neutral. Feet offset to the sides, knees bent. Start down low and take your knees to your left. So you begin that way, maybe that's good. Or maybe you'll take the knees and stack them on top of each other to the side, the hips stack. Arms are still opening. This right shoulder wants to lift up. It's okay. You're not going to push it back. You're just going to let it open. These knees might decide to lift too, so there's this hovering in between these two stretches, and that's okay too. Otherwise, you're back here with that easy back twist. So you get to choose. Your body decides. Inhale back into neutral. Take the hands over the top of the knees and give your knees a massage, your back a massage, rotate them around. And then release the feet off to the sides of the mat, knees go left and right. Windshield wipers. And then extend those legs all the way down beneath you. Inhale, you're reaching overhead and then towards the back of the room, back of the mat. And stretch your body long. You might want to get your shoulders up by your ears. You might want to flex and point the toes. You might want to interlace your fingers. You might want to do any or none of those things. Just feel like you're stretching in your back, you're lengthening, and noticing how delicious this deep stretch has made you feel today. you're comfortable there, you might just put your hand back on your heart, your hand back on your belly, and relax with your legs straight. You notice once you do a straight leg Shavasana shape, your back hurts. You bend the knees with the feet out and then TV them inward with the feet flat. It will make that low back feel much better. You could have your arms out next to you. Maybe you decided to cover yourself up with a blanket or your jacket and just lie there for a couple of minutes, breathing and enjoying how you feel after your yoga practice. There is a calmness that comes after a yoga practice. Once you feel that connection between your mind and your body, and you realize that there is that space within you that is safe, that is yours. It's always there. Dive down into that space. Your sacred, safe space. Inhale and exhale. Allow your body to be still. Allow your thoughts to drift by. If a thought rises, it's okay. Just watch it go by, like the clouds in the sky. There for you. That part of you within you is there for you. Always know that you can go to these places, gather your resources, come back to center again. Take your time coming awake, joining me seated if you like. And then just take a moment here, pausing on your back or seated, feeling relaxed and comfortable. Gather up all that energy that you've created around you in your space with your arms on an inhale overhead. Take it into your hands and bring your hands into prayer. And store all the good energy that you created there. For when you need it again, it's always inside. Namaste. Thank you for joining me today. Again, my name is Rene, and we at the Mat are pleased to bring you these yoga videos for your use at home. Come back again. Have a great day.